Just because you're having to start over again doesn't mean you failed. Doesn't mean you've lost everything, and it definitely doesn't mean you're back at square one. You're not starting over, you're starting wiser. See, life has this way of humbling us. Sometimes our plans fall apart. Sometimes we take a risk and it doesn't work out. And sometimes we find ourselves standing in the ruins of something we believed in, wondering how we're supposed to begin again. That moment is hard and it hurts. It feels like a step backward, but it's not. Because what you carry now, the experience, the pain, the lessons, that's what makes you stronger. You didn't lose everything. You gained understanding. You gained clarity. You gained resilience. You lived through a storm, and now you know how to build stronger. You've made mistakes, and now you know what to do differently. You've experienced the cost of giving up, and that's why you won't quit this time. You're not the same person who started the first time. You are more patient, more focused, more aware, and that's the gift. That's the real starting line. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to know every step. You just need to begin with what you've learned. Too many people walk away the moment things get hard. They see starting again as proof that they failed. But starting again with more wisdom is actually a sign of growth. It means you've matured. It means you've taken the hit and you're still willing to try. That takes courage. That takes grit. This time, you're not moving in panic. You're moving with purpose. This time, you're not hoping it works. You're building it to work. This time, you're not in the dark. You've got a light from the path you've already walked. And yes, you might still feel fear. You might still have doubts. You might still hear that voice whispering, "What if it all goes wrong again?" But here's where the truth lies, is that fear is part of the process. It means you care. Don't wait for the fear to leave. Move with it. Walk through it. Because what's the alternative? Living stuck? Living in regret? Wishing you had tried again but never actually doing it? You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take one honest step, then another and another. This time, you'll work smarter. This time, you'll protect your energy. This time, you'll know what really matters, and you'll let go of what doesn't. Maybe you've had to let go of something big, a dream, a relationship, a version of yourself, and that hurts, but it also clears space for something better. This is your chance to rebuild, to move forward, to rise, and you get to do it with more strength, more clarity, and more fire than ever before. So don't be ashamed to start again. Be proud. Proud that you're still standing, proud that you haven't given up, and proud that you've decided your story isn't over yet. Let's be real. Nobody likes looking at their weaknesses. We'd rather show off our strengths, lean into what we're good at, and hope that that's enough to carry us. But what you have to understand is what you avoid is what's holding you back. You see it in sports all the time. The player with an incredible jump shot, but terrible defense. The fighter with knockout power, but weak endurance. The athlete who dominates in practice but crumbles under pressure. Talent and strengths will take you far, but weaknesses will determine your ceiling. It's simple. Self-evaluation is uncomfortable. It's easier to say, "That's just not my thing," than to admit, "Hey, I need to work on this." But ignoring your flaws doesn't make them disappear. It just makes them stronger. The difference between good and great is the great ones attack their weaknesses head on. They don't avoid them, they fix them. So how do you do that? Well, here's a guide. Step number 1, identify the weak spot. Your first step is being honest with yourself. Ask, where do I struggle most when things get tough? What's the one skill I know is holding me back? If I were competing against myself, what weakness would I exploit? You can't fix what you won't face, so admitting the problem is where real growth starts. And then step 2, shift your mindset. Most people see weaknesses as roadblocks. They avoid them because they don't want to feel bad about themselves. But weaknesses aren't permanent, they're projects. They're just areas you haven't mastered yet. The best don't see them as flaws, they see them as opportunities to get better. Instead of thinking, I can't do this, start thinking, this is my next challenge. That mindset shift alone changes everything. Step 3 is you got to make it a priority. A lot of people acknowledge their weaknesses, but they don't actually do anything about them. They'll say, yeah, I should work on that, and then go right back to what's comfortable. If it's a weakness, it needs to go to the top of your list. You don't just work on it when you have time, you attack it every day. You create a structured plan to improve it. If your mindset collapses under pressure, you don't just hope it gets better. You train yourself to perform under stress. If your confidence is shaky, you don't just ignore it. You build it through preparation and repetition. So make a plan, put in the reps, track your progress, turn your weak spots into strengths. Step 4 is you have to push through the frustration. Because at first you're going to struggle. It's going to feel awkward, frustrating, and slow. That's where most people quit. They try for a few weeks, don't see huge results, and then decide maybe this just isn't for me. But that's the test. Do you actually want to improve, or do you want to just stay comfortable? The only way to beat a weakness is to stay consistent long enough to see progress. It won't happen overnight. But if you stick with it, you'll wake up one day and realize that what used to be your biggest struggle is now second nature. And then step 5, keep looking for the next one. The truth about growth is that it never stops. Once you turn one weakness into a strength, well then find the next one. There's always another level, another challenge, another way to improve. That's how champions are built. They don't run from their weaknesses, they hunt them down. The easiest thing in the world is to lean on what you're already good at. But the ones who reach their full potential don't take the easy route. They do the hard work. If there's a weakness you've been avoiding, it's time to step up and start doing something about it. Because your next level is hiding in the work that you don't want to do. Your potential isn't set in stone. What you know, what you're capable of, and who you can become, it's not limited to what you were born with. The greatest separator between those who achieve extraordinary things and those who don't isn't talent, it's mindset. And the mindset that drives success, resilience, and constant improvement is the growth mindset. A growth mindset is the belief that abilities can be developed through dedication and effort. It's understanding that failure isn't a dead end, it's feedback. It's seeing challenges not as roadblocks but as obstacles to overcome. It's choosing to learn from mistakes rather than letting them define you. Many people operate with the fixed mindset. It's believing their intelligence, talents, and abilities are set at birth. They avoid challenges, fearing failure will expose their shortcomings. They see effort as pointless if they don't succeed immediately. They view feedback as criticism instead of an opportunity to improve. On the other hand, a person with a growth mindset sees setbacks as just part of the journey. They embrace what's difficult because they understand that struggle leads to progress. They actively seek out feedback, not to validate their worth, but to refine their approach. They don't fear being bad at something new. They see it as a challenge to get better. If you've spent years operating with a fixed mindset, don't worry, change is possible. So here's how to start shifting your perspective. First, reframe failure as a lesson. Every mistake carries a lesson if you're willing to learn from it. The most successful people aren't those who never fail, but those who refuse to let failure define them. Instead of saying I failed, say I learned. Challenge your own limiting beliefs. Stop telling yourself you can't do. Instead, start asking, how can I improve? Talent might open doors, but perseverance is what keeps them open. Whatever skill you want to develop, it's consistent effort that'll get you there. Embrace the process. Growth doesn't happen overnight. Progress isn't always linear. Some days you'll feel like you're moving backward. That's normal. But if you stay committed, keep learning, and refuse to quit, you'll look back and realize how far you've come. Surround yourself with the right people. Mindsets are contagious. If you spend time around people who complain, make excuses, and accept mediocrity, you'll absorb that mentality. But if you surround yourself with those who push themselves, who embrace discomfort, who keep striving, you'll be influenced in the best way possible. Speak to yourself like you would a friend. Your inner dialogue matters. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, you're wiring your brain to believe it. Instead of saying, I'll never be able to do this, shift to, I'm not there yet, but I'm getting better every day. Life isn't about being perfect. It's about improving. It's about evolving, stretching yourself, and becoming someone greater than you were yesterday. A growth mindset doesn't just lead to success, it leads to resilience, confidence, and the ability to adapt in an ever-changing world. So the next time you're faced with a challenge, ask yourself, am I going to let this defeat me, or am I going to grow from it? The choice is always yours. The most powerful thing about a growth mindset is that once you adopt it, the possibilities are endless. Your story isn't finished, it's still being written, and you hold the pen. In your lifetime, there's going to be highs and lows, moments of triumph and times of struggle. And while we might not always be where we want to be, we can take a moment to reflect on how far we've come. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm grateful I'm not where I used to be. That's a powerful reminder that progress is worth celebrating, even if it doesn't feel monumental. Too often we're so focused on the destination that we forget to appreciate the journey, the lessons we've learned, the battles we've fought, and the growth we've experienced. There was a time when you'd be happy with where you are right now, a time when today's reality seemed comfortable. Maybe you were stuck in a job you hated, and now you're working towards your passion. Maybe you were in a place of emotional pain, and now you found healing. Maybe you were weighed down by fear, and now you're stepping into courage. Wherever you are, give yourself credit for the journey. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a step closer to the person you're becoming. This sentiment is universal. Take the caterpillar, for example. When it's cocooned, it doesn't know what lies ahead. The transformation into a butterfly isn't instant. It's a process. It's messy and uncertain. But the caterpillar doesn't give up, and neither should you. There was a story of a young artist who wanted to master his craft. For years he sketched, painted, and practiced, frustrated because he wasn't producing masterpieces. But one day he stumbled upon his first drawing from years before. It was rough, unpolished, and barely recognizable. But in that moment, he realized something profound. He wasn't a master yet, but he had come so far. That's the power of gratitude. Gratitude shifts our focus from what's lacking to what's already here. It reminds us that even though the mountain peak is still ahead, we've already climbed so much. But gratitude isn't just about acknowledgement, it's fuel. It keeps you going when the road feels long. It reminds you why you started in the first place. Take a moment today to look back, not to dwell on the past, but to appreciate it. Think about the challenges you faced, the sleepless nights, the doubts, the sacrifices. And then think about how much stronger, wiser, and more resilient you've become. You see, growth doesn't always look glamorous. Sometimes it's about enduring the tough times, holding on when it feels like you have nothing left, and trusting that better days are ahead. No, you might not be where you want to be just yet, but you're not where you used to be. And that, my friends, is something to be proud of. We tend to think that growth is always about more, adding new skills, gaining new experiences, meeting new people, and climbing to higher places. But sometimes growth isn't about addition at all. Sometimes it's about deletion. It's about releasing the things that weigh us down so we can rise to our full potential. You see, we all carry things that no longer serve us. Maybe it's an old habit that keeps pulling you back to square one. Maybe it's a version of yourself you've outgrown, a version rooted in self-doubt, fear, and limiting beliefs. Or maybe it's a relationship that drains you instead of lifting you up. Whatever it is, holding on to it is like trying to run a marathon with a backpack full of rocks. You're still moving, but the weight is slowing you down. Truth is, you can't step into what you're meant to be if you're still holding on to who you used to be. Think about a tree in autumn. It doesn't fight to hold on to its leaves. It doesn't fear letting go. It trusts the process. It knows that shedding the old makes way for the new. Because without letting go, there's no space for spring to bring new life. Growth works the same way for us. To move forward, we have to let go of what's behind. Let go of that old story you keep telling yourself about why you're not good enough. Let go of the toxic relationships that make you shrink. Let go of the comfort zone that feels safe, but's actually suffocating. And sometimes you have to let go of the very dream you thought would define you to make room for the new one that will transform you. But letting go isn't easy because we cling to the familiarity, even when it hurts, out of fear of the unknown. But let me ask you this, what's scarier? Letting go of what's holding you back or staying stuck in the same place forever? Imagine a hot air balloon. The only way it rises is by releasing its sandbags, those heavy weights that keep it tethered to the ground. The moment it lets go, it soars. And the same goes for you. Your potential isn't something you need to chase. It's already within you. You just have to drop those weights. Take a moment and ask yourself, what do I need to let go of? What habits, relationships, or versions of myself are keeping me grounded? And be honest. Because the first step to freedom is recognizing what's holding you captive. And once you see it, you can decide right here, right now, that you won't let it define you anymore. You're allowed to let go of the past. You're allowed to outgrow the old version of yourself. You're allowed to walk away from people or places that no longer align with your purpose. And you're allowed to step into the new, even if it's uncertain, even if it's uncomfortable, because that's where growth lies. At the end of the day, you get to decide whether you'll stay weighed down or rise. The choice is yours. Let go of the fear, let go of the excuses, let go of anything that's holding you back, because your future is waiting, and it's lighter, brighter, and more beautiful than you can imagine. But first, you have to release what no longer belongs. Some people seem naturally strong, but for most of us, mental toughness takes work. And guess what? That's okay. Because even if you weren't born with mental toughness, you can develop it, because it's just like a muscle. Mental toughness isn't about pretending that life is easy. It's about showing up and doing your best, even when life feels impossible. It's about handling setbacks, doubts, and fears, but not letting them stop you. So let's talk about the steps to building mental toughness. First, start with self-compassion. Hey, listen, mental toughness doesn't mean being emotionless or always strong. It means knowing that it's okay to feel overwhelmed sometimes and still choosing to keep moving. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to show up. When things get hard, don't beat yourself up. Talk to yourself the way you talk to a friend, like, it's tough right now, but you've got this. True toughness starts with kindness toward yourself. You can't grow stronger by being at war with yourself. Secondly, break big problems into small steps. I know life can be overwhelming, especially when you face challenges like loss, failure, or emotional struggles. But mental toughness doesn't require you to climb the entire mountain at once. You just need to take the first step. If you're overwhelmed, ask yourself, what's one thing I can do right now? Small wins build confidence, and over time they add up. Mental toughness isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about taking small, consistent actions, no matter how you feel. Third step, control what you can and let go of what you can't. One of the biggest energy drains is worrying about things beyond your control. Other people's opinions, unexpected setbacks, or circumstances you can't change. Tough-minded people focus on what they can control, like your attitude, your effort, your actions. Ask yourself, what can I control in this situation? When you focus on the things you can change, you take your power back. The fourth step is learn to get comfortable with discomfort. Here's the hard truth, that growth comes from discomfort. Mental toughness is built by sitting with uncomfortable emotions, fear, frustration, or self-doubt, without giving in or running away. When things get tough, pause and breathe. Remind yourself, I can do hard things. Each time you face discomfort, instead of avoiding it, you strengthen your mind. You learn that you are stronger than you think. Over time, you'll stop fearing discomfort because you'll know it's not here to break you. It's here to build you. The fifth step is adopt a long-term mindset. Toughness isn't about short bursts of effort. It's about endurance. It's about seeing setbacks as part of the process, not the end of the road. Life will throw curveballs your way, but the people who keep moving forward, even slowly, are the ones who succeed. Know that tough times won't last forever. Focus on progress, not perfection. If today is hard, tomorrow might be easier. Just keep showing up. Number 6 is celebrate progress, no matter how small. Mentally tough people don't wait until they've reached the finish line to celebrate. They recognize every step forward. Like, did you get out of bed today when you didn't feel like it? That's progress. Did you handle a difficult conversation without losing your cool? That's growth. Recognize and appreciate every effort you make. Your brain needs those reminders that you're moving in the right direction. You are stronger than you know. Mental toughness isn't about never falling, it's about getting back up every time you do. You're going to face challenges. That's life. But the more you practice showing up, the stronger you'll become. So when life knocks you down, and it will, get back up. Every step forward, no matter how small, is proof that you are tougher than you think. You have what it takes to build the life you want. One step, one challenge, one day at a time. So go out there and show yourself what you're capable of. Let me ask you a simple question. Is there something you've been meaning to do, a dream you've been holding on to, or a goal you've been putting off? Why haven't you started yet? We all have something we're waiting on. Maybe it's waiting for the perfect moment, when the timing is just right, when all the stars align. Maybe you're waiting until you have more money, more time, more confidence, or more clarity. But here's the hard truth. The perfect moment doesn't exist. There will never be a time when everything lines up exactly the way you imagined. And if you keep waiting for it, well, you'll be waiting forever. Remember when you told yourself, I'll start tomorrow, but then tomorrow came and went and nothing changed? Maybe you've been telling yourself this for months, even years, waiting for that magic spark to ignite the fire within you. But the truth is, it's not some outside force that's going to make things happen for you. It's you. You have the power to start right now, today. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to have everything to be perfect. All you need is to take that first step. Because the longer you wait, the more time slips through your fingers. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and before you know it, years have gone by and your dreams are still sitting on the shelf collecting dust. So what's holding you back right now? Is it fear? Fear of failure? Fear of the unknown? Fear of stepping outside of your comfort zone? Come on, that fear is normal. Everyone feels it. But the people who succeed, who live the lives they want, are the ones who feel that fear and take action anyways. They don't let fear control them. They take control of the fear. Think about this. Every great achievement, every success story started with a single decision: to stop waiting and start doing. The people you look up to, the ones who are living the lives you admire, they didn't have it all figured out when they began. They just decided to start. And they made the choice to move forward, no matter how uncertain or scared they were. And that's what I'm asking you to do today. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for permission from someone else to tell you it's okay to chase your dreams. The time is now, and I mean right now. There's no better time to start than this very moment. So what are you waiting for? The only thing standing between you and the life you want is action. You have everything you need inside you. You have the strength, the ability, and the power to take the first step. Don't let another day pass by without moving forward. This is your moment. This is your chance to break free from the cycle of waiting and step into the life you've always wanted. Start today. Start now. Because the only thing you're truly waiting on is you. Loss, while incredibly painful, can ultimately lead us to discover new strengths and opportunities for growth. Loss is something that every one of us will experience at some point, whether it's the passing of a loved one, the end of a significant relationship, or any form of profound change. The immediate impact can feel overwhelming. It's a time marked by intense grief and an emotional weight that almost seems too heavy to bear. And although the pain of loss is profound and undeniable, it also holds the potential to be a catalyst for significant personal transformation. As we navigate through our grief, we can discover ways to reclaim our power and reshape our lives in ways we never imagined. It's important to acknowledge that grief is a natural response to loss. It's not something we should rush through or even suppress. Allow yourself to feel, to mourn, and to process your emotions. By confronting our grief head-on, we begin to understand our emotions better and open ourselves up to eventual growth. Consider using this time of loss as an opportunity for self-reflection. Often we're so caught up in our daily routines that we forget to question our true desires and goals. Loss forces us to slow down and reevaluate what truly matters to us. It's a chance to reassess our priorities and make meaningful changes in our lives. Loss very often reveals what is most important to us, such as family, friends, or personal pursuits. It's crucial to channel our energy into actions that align with our new sense of purpose. Engage in activities that nurture your soul and contribute to your well-being. This might mean picking up a new hobby, pursuing a long-held dream, or investing in relationships that bring you joy. See, by focusing on these positive actions, we begin to shift our perspective from what we've lost to what we can gain. Resilience isn't about avoiding the pain, but rather about learning how to navigate through it and come out stronger on the other side. Each step you take towards healing is a testament to your inner strength. The challenges you face today are shaping you into a more resilient and empowered person for tomorrow. Finally, share your journey with others. Seek support from friends, family, and professional counselors who can offer guidance and comfort. Sometimes the act of helping others through their own struggles can provide a new sense of purpose and healing. As we reflect on our loss, understand that while this experience is undeniably traumatic, it also offers a profound opportunity for personal growth. By embracing our grief, reflecting on our lives, taking positive actions, and building resilience, we transform our pain into a powerful source of strength and renewal. Embrace the journey. Find your strength, and remember that even in the darkest moments, there's the potential for a brighter, more empowered future.